Hi.
How are you doing?
Fine.
Okay, so I'm Clarissa Mahara and I'm a student at Southern New Hampshire University and I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. So with your consent, I will record this interview and use information for in my deliverable. So I'm working on this project. The interview will be used to create and submit it to College for America so that my project will be evaluated. This record will be solely for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system, to which only the evaluator and College for America staff will have access. Do you have any questions?
No.
Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
I, Innocent Karechesi, give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of students' academic work.
Okay. So what are the three branches of government?
The three branches of government, there is legislative, that is what I know.
Okay, it's fine. So what does each branch do?
I don't know.
That's fine. So Democrat and Republic major parties. Can you name a third party?
The third party is Do People.
Okay. So what is the basic process by which a bill become a law?
I don't know.
Okay, thank you so much. Those are the questions that I was asking you. Thank you for your time. How are you doing?
I'm great.
So I'm Clarissa Mahara and I'm a student at Southern New Hampshire University and I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. So with your consent, I will record this interview and use information as part of my academic work. So the interview will be used to create and submit it to College for America so that my project will be evaluated. This recorded will be used solely for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in College for America online evaluation system, to which only the evaluator and College for America staff will have an access. Do you have any questions?
No question.
Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
I, Nzaisenga I give my informed the consent to participate in an interview to be recorded and used as part of students' academic work.
Okay, so I have here some question. What are the three branches of government?
I don't know.
Okay, what does each branch do?
I don't know.
Okay, it's fine. So Democratic and the Republic are major parties. Can you name a third party?
I don't know.
Okay, so what is the basic process by which a bill became a law?
I don't know.
Okay, it's fine. Thank you so much for your time. Nice day.
Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Clarissa Maharo, a student at Southern New Hampshire University and under Kepler program. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the project called Government and You, and especially on different questions that I'll be talking about related to branches of government. So first of all, they're asking what are the three branches of government. So the first branch is legislative branch, the second one is executive branch, and the third one it is judicial branch. So this branch play different laws, where legislative makes law and it makes with Congress constitute of the House of Representatives and Senate. So on the second question, which is asking what does each branch do, with the legislative branch of US government, it helps to draft proposed laws, confirm or reject presidential nomination for heads of federal agents. So this means that this branch helped to select the roles from those drafted ones. This branch provides American citizens the right to vote for senators and representatives through free confidential ballot. So this indicate that American citizens have right to vote, have right to vote for senators for free. This is most important because citizens got an opportunity to share out their feelings about voting, since they have right to vote for free. This helps them to choose a leader that can present them for on their interest. So this is this is what each branch do. So by moving, I'm on legislative, this is what legislative do. So by moving on executive branch, it carries out and enforces laws. It includes president, vice president, and cabinet. So with this, there are key roles that executive branch play include president, where president leads the country. She is the state of she is a head of the state, leader of federal government, and commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces. On the side of vice president, he or she support the president, means she's the one who support president. If president is unable to serve, the vice president became a president. So on the third person is cabinet members serve as advisor to the president. They include the vice president, heads of executive department, and other high-ranking government officials. With this, much of the work in executive branch is done by federal agencies and department committees and other groups of people. Those are a group of advisors to those president and vice president. So briefly, like you can see on this picture, it is clearly like you can see how those legislative and executive their role and what they do in their work. So by moving on the next the third one, yeah, before we go to the picture, before we go to the picture, we can like talk about judicial branch of US government. It represents the meaning of laws, applies of laws to individual cases, and decide if laws violate the constitution. This indicates that this branch put in application the laws to individual cases. According to the House resources, I have found that all these branches are connected since they help to ensure the government is executive and citizen rights are protected. So I say this because legislative branch help to make the laws, executive carries out the laws, and judicial apply laws. All these practices are created for the US citizen, which help to ensure that US citizen rights are protected. So as I can come back to that picture, on this picture you can see that executive, like on legislative branch makes law, as you can see, and it is included Congress, Senate, and House of Representative. And House of Representative, while executive it carries out laws where there is president, vice president, even cabinet who are advisors. So by moving on judicial, we have it like interprets the law as judicial, where there is Supreme Court and other federal courts. So briefly, this picture like show clearly how those branches are connected and what they do. So by moving to the next question, which is asking how are these three branches connected, so they regulate each other, and how they regulate each other with the check of balance. Each of the three branches of government can limit the power of others. This way no one branch become too powerful. Each branch checks the power of the other branch to make sure that power is balance between them, means like connected to each other. What if one branch didn't work well, another will fail? For instance, the process of how laws are made is good example of checks and balance in action. This is because legislative branch introduce and vote a bill. Then a bill goes to executive branch, where the president decide whether they think the bill is good for the country. If they realize that bill is good, they go ahead and sign the bill and it become a law. On other hand, if the president does not believe that bill is good for them, they didn't sign it. So with enough votes, the legislative branch can override the executive branch veto, and the bill become a law. Once a law is in place, the people of the country can test if through the court system, which is under the control of judicial branch, which is under the control of that judicial branch. So if someone if someone believe a law is unfair, or lawsuit can be filed. Lawyers then make argument for and against the case, and the judge decide which side has presented the most convincing argument. This show the way each branch control each other. Means there is somehow all those branches are connected because it helps each other. One way, if one work well, it helps others to complete their task. So by moving to the next question, which is Democratic and Republican are major parties. So can you name the third party? So I have found that the third party are MENA, and how this two-party system start. They started as Federalist and Federalist led by Jefferson and Hamilton, and Alexander Hamilton believed that the United States, to be successful, it would have to be formed in a similar way to the British imperial model that had been so successful. While Thomas Jefferson, he believed that central treasury and national army would endow the central government with too much power, that an economy driven by finance would lead the reckless gambling. So he also thought a strong president would be no better a Polish king, a reference to the Polish tradition of aristocrats electing their monarchy from among their numbers. So these are how the system was, and what what impact do Fed-MENA parties have on national politics. So the first party may also help voter turnout by bringing more people to the polls. Again, third party candidate at the top of ticket can help to draw attention to other party candidates down the ballot, helping them to win local or state office. So these different questions related to three branches and how it impacts them, even on how that third party, which is MENA party, have impacted national politics. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you. Okay, hello, thank you so much. I'm going to talk about how bill became a law and the process passed through to get so the process that showed that bill became a law. So here there are different process that anyone can pass through to where a bill passed through became a law. So after both House and Senate approved that bill is in an identical form, the bill is sent to the president. If the president approves of the legislation, it is assigned and became a law. So if a president takes no action for 10 days while Congress is in the session, the bill automatically became a law. So here there is different process that show how the bill became a law. I found that there are 9 steps that they pass through so that the bill can become a law. So on the first step, the bill is drafted. Both Senate and House of Representatives who have ideas of law can draft a bill. This idea comes from the Congress members themselves or from everyday citizen and advocacy groups. So the second step is the bill is introduced. Once the bill is drafted, it must be introduced. This is most important because once bill is introduced, it can be found on a Congress, which is official government website that tracks federal legislation. To mean government help to track what legislation made. So by moving to the third step, which is where bill goes to the committee. With this step, the bill was introduced on second step to pass through the committee. Here both House and Senate have several committees composed of groups of Congress members who are particularly interested in different topics such as health or international affairs. So this is the first, like I mean the third step, and the fourth one is the fourth one is where the bill goes to subcommittee review for the bill. With this step, subcommittee are organized and under committees and have further specialization on certain topic. So on the fifth steps, committee makeup of the bill. With this step, when the hearing and subcommittees review are completed, the committee will meet to mark up of the deal. This means that committee will meet after finding what comes is subcommittee review so that they can stand up a bill. So on the next the fourth on the fourth stage, on the fifth stage is where on the fifth stage where the committee make up a bill, where there's like subcommittee review are completed and committee will meet the markup and then will meet to mark up the bill. This means that committee will meet after finding what comes in subcommittee so that they can certain up the bill. So on the sixth step is voting by full chamber on the bill. With this step, once a bill reaches the floor, there is additional debate and members of full chamber vote approve any amendment, to mean that when a bill reaches on floor, there will be other additional debate of members so that the full chamber can vote to approve any amendment. So I have another step, which is seventh one, which is referral of the bill to other chambers. On this step, when the House and Senate pass a bill, it is transferred to other chamber where it is usually follows the same route through committee and finally to the floor. This means that chamber received a bill which reviewed with both Senate and House will need to follow the same route that committee used as final floor. So I have by moving to the eighth step, the bill is where the bill goes to the president directly. On this step, House and Senate have approved the bill in identical form. They directly sent to the president, where president received, the president approved the legislation, and it is signed and become a law. So this is where the bill goes directly to a president. So by moving to the last step, which is overriding a veto, here if the president vetoes a bill, Congress may attempt to override the veto. This shows that if the president denies a bill, a Congress may attempt to override the veto. Also, if both Senate and House pass the bill by two-thirds majority, the president's veto is overloaded and the bill became a law. So these are the main steps where process that a bill become pass through so that it can become a law. So here we have a picture that shows it well, where each steps are classify what's happening in that process. You can see it a little bit. It is clear and show how all those process pass through so that you can where the bill became a law. Thank you so much for hearing on me. Thank you.